Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We've made it through actually most of the roundup, and we're at the end. Well, not the end, but the beginning of the end. Yeah. Anyway, let's get started with Blue Beetle Graduation Day, number 6. Where we left off, the horizon had arrived. However, it seemed that Blue Beetle, Jamie Reyes, had gained the trust of, had regained the trust, I guess, of the superhero community. So, with the horizon arriving, there's the Scarab, as well as the Horizon Scarabs, get a massive information download. But there's a slight problem. The Horizon ship is breaking up, and so Superman, Shazam, Green Lantern, and Blue Beetle head out to make sure that the as it's bringing in meteorites with it, and heading for Palmyra City, basically make sure that it lands safely. Shazam is quickly knocked out on this, so Green Lantern and Superman are retasked by Jamie with preventing the meteorites from falling. But Blue Beetle's able to slow it down, and the Horizon Scarabs do what they can to help with the meteorites that Superman and Green Lantern are unable to stop. The ship is slowed down and lands, and the Horizon people are initially terrified to see a member of the Reach, but the Horizon Scarabs stick up for him, and with Superman speaking for them helps because, well, apparently the House of L is well known by the Horizon, but the Horizon explained they've been on the run, and they kind of want to make a permanent home on Earth. And while Jessica Cruz suggests speaking to the Guardians about this, the decision is Jamie volunteers Palmyra City. And Victoria Cord steps in to help out. And once Jamie is apologized to by everyone, and is continuing to do the superhero thing in Palmyra City. We have an epilogue, however. Oh, and he's obviously making new friends, including among the Horizon. We have an epilogue, though. The thief, whose name I can't remember, well, the villain Gimmicks was hiding in her bag. Apparently, everyone's in big trouble. This is setting the stage for Blue Beetle Scarab War. That is where the series ends. I like this series. It's been a minute since I've read a book that's centered on any of the Blue Beetles. Though I think the only comic I ever read that regularly that focused on any of the Blue Beetles focused on Jaime. So it was nice. It was good. Kind of aging up, but to a point, yeah, aging up Jaime, and he's been a teen superhero now for coming up on 20 years, so At least he's now a, technically speaking, adult. Next up, we've got Green Arrow #1. This is this is one of the covers, focusing on Black Canary. Frank Cho doing some amazing artwork. And then we've got this. This is a foil version of the regular cover, and yeah, it's a wraparound. So we can see the front. We've got Black Canary, Green Arrow, Roy Harper, Arsenal, and Connor Hawke, Green Arrow. On the back, well, we've got Red Canary, Peacemaker, Merlin, Red Arrow, Speedy, and a few others. So, Green Arrow. Back during Dark Crisis, when the Justice League returned triumphantly from their multiversal captivity by Pariah, and but Green Arrow wasn't with them. And so, the series opens with Green Arrow waking up on a beach on a distant planet. Thinking back on his life, we get a retelling of his origin. Oliver Queen, rich kid, marooned on a deserted island, becomes Green Arrow. And he also reflects on his various friends and allies, and some of his villains. Anyway, moving on though, we've got Connor, Roy, and Black Canary in Gotham, tracking a lead from that Roy got from Jason Todd, the Red Hood. We also get brief versions of their history, of their origins. But during everything goes down in Gotham, one of Catwoman's strays from Alleytown, Cheshire Cat, jumps in. Roy approaches her. And we find out that Cheshire Cat, who has been appearing in largely in Catwoman, but also recently in Detective Comics, is in fact Leanne Harper. Roy's daughter. They're reunited, they embrace, but Leanne tells Roy that they'll never let our family be together. When Roy asks what she means, Leanne and Connor disappear. Though, before just fully disappearing, Leanne suggests that Roy find Amanda Waller. Leanne appears on the world that Ollie's on. Apparently, upon her arrival, she's attacked by manhunters, and they find a teleporter. Which Ollie destroys. Leanne's not happy with him for destroying it, but he explains that they can never go home, and that is where the issue ends. It's a strong opening for the series. I was curious as to why Green Arrow did reappear with the rest of the League, But seeing that Roy's going to be a part of the book, I thought that maybe this was definitely worth picking up. So far, like I said, strong start. Looking forward to how everything plays out. Moving on to our next book, we've got Unstoppable Doom Patrol #2. Where we left off, it appears that the Doom Patrol are under surveillance, and among those by an agency that includes Peacemaker. Meanwhile, the Doom Patrol themselves, however, are acting as a metahuman rescue team, rescuing metahumans in need, basically. Usually, it's ones who have only just discovered their powers and are having trouble adapting to said powers. So they rescue a young metahuman named Worm, who appears to have a removable worm-like aspect. Though apparently Worm is part of is an agent working for the whichever agency it is that's currently employing Taskmaster, or not Peacemaker, not Taskmaster, wrong universe. But we also get a quick look at the Doom Patrol's new base, codenamed the Shelter. It appears that each member has an entire floor for living quarters. There's training rooms and, yeah, everything one might need. But Worm is shown around by Beast Girl, beating Flux Mentala, who teaches the new arrivals to control their abilities, as well as build natural muscles. Chief, however, is called to speak with Dr. Calder. The chief is, yeah, not exactly happy that Calder is constantly bringing memos. Robot Man goes to visit the grave of Dorothy Spinner. Worm is brought in for therapy. Turns out that the Doom Patrol's therapist is capable of transcending the dimensional barrier and channeling a collection of 5 fifth-dimensional intelligences. Somewhere else entirely, a young girl is sold by a sudden and growing light form, and it's time to come home and time to go to war. Turns out Worm is an operative of at least a former Task Force X operative, as Worm does have an explosive in his head, and it still works if need be. But Worm looses Velvet and to basically crawl through the air ducts and learn everything Velvet can about the base. Jane is discussing things with her alters. The negative spirit is meditating. Robot Man's trying to get in touch with Danny the Street. But Velvet discovers something interesting. Dr. Calder is sitting in a room talking to the think tank, which appears to have Mento inside. Mento discovers Velvet, scares Velvet off, and it's decided. And so Worm decides to escape, but the Doom Patrol are waiting. While this is going on, Peacemaker decides to detonate the explosive in Worm's head, but it's being jammed. Worm has Robot Man toss him into the air after giving Velvet to Beast Girl, and in the air, well, the explosive goes off. However, it's explained the general in charge of the operation is not happy with this, having lost an intelligence asset. But Peacemaker explains that the metahuman wasn't Worm; it's Velvet. And so now, they have a spot that no one will question. And that is where the issue ends. I'm digging this Doom Patrol run so far. I've read about half of Grant Morrison's run, and yeah, that's a hard run to top. So, but this is off to a strong start. I'm liking it. I'm eager to see how everything goes with it. Moving on to our last book for the week, we've got Riddler Year 1, number 4. This is going into the past of the Riddler as seen in the Batman. This issue largely focuses on the time well before the events of the film. Growing up in the orphanage, didn't talk for a while. Seemingly being experimented upon. Also learning about zinc sulfide. Learning anything he could. Being part of the choir at the orphanage. Using his knowledge of chemistry to get a little bit of revenge. We also see the Thomas Wayne's visit to the orphanage to announce his candidacy for mayor. And with Edward being part of the choir at the orphanage, he gets to have a brief bit of FaceTime with Thomas Wayne. He actually speaks rather than singing. But he explains that what renewal could do for him is go to a school with other kids like him. Since he's good at math, as well as riddles. But Thomas Wayne even asks him a riddle. What is never behind you and always in front of you? The future. Then comes the news of Thomas Wayne's murder. But Edward constantly tries to apply for renewal, but always rejected. Basically, we see Edward falling further and further into becoming the Edward Enigma we saw in the Batman. And that is where the issue, by and large, ends. This has been a good, interesting series so far. Definitely earns its place as a Black Label title in this issue, that's for sure. I do kind of get the feeling that perhaps this would have worked better as an OGN rather than a miniseries, but I understand the desire for the monthly sales rather than volume sales all at once. Anyway, before finishing up, as I mentioned in my last couple of videos, May 6th is Free Comic Book Day. If you are in or near the Northwest Arkansas area, I will be at Rock Bottom Comics in Fayetteville, Arkansas from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. working there for Free Comic Book Day as I do every year. So yeah, feel free to come on by, pick up some of the free Comic Book Day stuff. Look through their single issues, graphic novels. You know, maybe you find something. Maybe you might find something you want to pick up. Anyway, that will do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.